Hello students, this video is about genus Taxus of the order Coniferales. Students, Taxus is represented by only a single species, Taxus contorta in Himachal Pradesh, and it is found growing wild in the hilly regions of the Himachal Pradesh. It belongs to family Taxaceae. Earlier there was a lot of confusion regarding to its taxonomy, and it was considered as a variety of Taxus baccata or Taxus balsiana. But later on, due to variation in its leaf as well as cones, it was raised to the rank of the species. Students, commonly Taxus contorta is known as yew or West Himalayan yew. Its local name is Rakhal. Rakhal or Taxus contorta is listed in endangered plant list of Himachal Pradesh due to its overexploitation for trade. So it need cultivation and sustainable harvesting by habitat rotation. Let's know morphology of the Taxus contorta. Students, it is an evergreen tree attaining a height of 9 to 20 meters with a massive trunk, as you can see in this image. The stem is profusely branched and remain covered with a thin brown colored bark. It do not have dimorphic branches as seen in the pinus. The leaves are linear, small, only 2 to 3 cm long and spirally arranged. It possesses a single strong vein and recurved margins. The upper surface is dark green while the lower surface is pale or rusty red in color. Students, here are some images which are captured from the Janjali area of the Mandi district. Next is habit and habitat. Rakhal or Taxus contorta is a medium to large size tree of western Himalaya. It is found growing in forest, roadsides, sunny edges, topple shade and shady riverine up to an altitude of 2000 to 3500 meter. It is generally middle sized but sometimes grows very large with a large spreading crown. Rakhal is in leaf round the year, means it is a evergreen tree. In cone from March to April and in mature seed from September to November. It can propagate easily through seeds. Students, here are images of the Taxus contorta. In first image you can see fruit like mature seed of the Rakhal. Or in second image you can see branch bearing cones, while third image represent habit of the Rakhal or Taxus contorta. Apex of leaf is sharply pointed mainly because of accumulation of silica. This sharply pointed apex may cause death of the cattle eating these leaves. Each leaf is shortly stalked. The stalk broadens into a flat persistent base which shows a slight twist, as you can see in these images. The scale leaves present on the fertile shoot are opposite and decussate. Taxus possesses a long and well-developed taproot. The roots are deep feeder and highly branched, as you can see in this image. Next is anatomy of stem. Students, TS of stem is irregular in outline, resembling pinus in structure. It is thickly cuticularized, single-layered epidermis, parenchymatous cortex, and having tannin-filled cells. It is followed by endodermis and sclerenchymatous pericycle. The young stem shows a ring of conjoined collateral open and enlarged vascular bundles enclosing a distinct pith in the center, as you can see in this image. The protoxylem consists of spiral tracheids and the phloem contains sieve cells with C plate and phloem parenchyma. Companion cells are absent, which is the characteristic feature of the gymnosperm. Secondary growth in stem. The cambium cuts secondary phloem toward outside and secondary xylem toward inner side. Secondary bud is devoid of resin canal and bud parenchyma. The tracheids show uniserate border pits only in their radial wall. The tracheid also shows spiral thickening. The bud is strong and dense. Due to presence of tertiary canals, the bud is elastic in nature. Phallogen may develop in the outer region, showing extrastellar secondary growth. Students, you can compare stem in its primary and secondary growth. And you can see in secondary growth there is prominent development of secondary xylem and secondary phloem that is represented by the dark central zone, while in outer zone there is prominent development of bark. Students, as the Taxus is a plant of temperate zone, so it show annual rings. These are developed by the formation of broad tracheids in the spring season and narrow tracheids of the autumn seasons. Next is anatomy of leaf. The leaf is dorsiventral. It shows xerophytic character. Upper and lower epidermis are rectangular in shape and thickly cuticularized. The cuticle is comparatively thin on the lower surface. The stomata are of sunken type and restricted only to the lower epidermis. Mesophyll is differentiated into palisade and spongy parenchyma. The palisade is generally two-layered. Students, only one vascular bundle is present in the midrib region. It is enclosed by a distinct epidermal layer or bundle sheath. The collateral vascular bundles contain phloem toward the lower side and xylem toward the upper side. Transfusion tissue is present on both the sides of the vascular bundles. Resin canals are generally absent as seen in the needle of the pinus. Students, the xerophytic character of the leaf include presence of thick cuticle, sunken stomata and transfusion tissue. There is also differentiation of mesophyll cell into palisade and spongy parenchyma. Students, you can clearly see anatomy of the leaf of the Taxus baccata in this image, and you can notice that sunken stomata are restricted to the lower surface. Next is reproduction in Taxus. Students, Taxus is usually dioecious but occasionally monoecious trees are also reported. Vegetative reproduction is absent. Next is male strobilus or male flower. Male strobiles are usually yellowish in color and develop in the axil of the foliose leaves. Each strobilus contains a number of overlapping strial brackets. Some of the bracts toward the tip of the strobili are replaced by stamen or microsporangiophore. These bracts give the cone appearance of a flower. You can see here a large number of bracts that encloses the microsporangiophore. Each stamen is shortly stalked and has a peltate disc bearing 4 to 8 pendant microsporangia. You can see here peltate disc of the stamen. Each stamen is shortly stalked and has peltate disc bearing 4 to 8 pendant microsporangia. You can see here peltate disc bearing 4 to 8 microsporangia. The microsporangia surround the stalk completely. The microsporangia in the young male strobiles are compactly arranged, but at maturity they get loosened and undergo descents. The presence of peltate microsporangia is one of the most remarkable features of the Taxus. In these images, you can see male stabile that arises on the axil of the leaf, and you can see cones are yellow in color. Next is female stabile or female cone. Students, the female stabile in Taxus are so highly reduced that they hardly appear as cone or stabile. They arise in the axil of leaf early in the season and mature in the next season. You can see here Taxus peccata bearing an ovulate stabile. Each female stabile organ consists of a short primary axis bearing scale leaves or bracts arranged in the opposite decussate manner. You can see this arrangement in this image. Scale or bracts are present on the opposite decussate manner. A short secondary axis develops from the axil of upper three scaly leaves. This axis bears a free pair of scaly leaves and a terminal ovule, as you can see in this image. Students, generally 10 archegonia develop in the female gametophyte, but sometimes as many as 25 archegonia may appear. Next is structure of ovule. Students, the ovule is orthotropous and sessile, means without stalk or funicle. A single thick integument is present. Integument is free from the nucellus right up to its base. Integument is differentiated into outer fleshy, middle stony and inner fleshy layer. A ring-like outgrowth develops from the base of the integument. It surrounds the entire ovule. It is called aril or cupule. After ripening, it is edible and sweetish in taste. Aril is green and saucer-shaped when young, but at maturity it is red and cup-shaped. And due to aril, seed appear like a fruit. Pollen chamber and nucellar beak are absent in Taxus. The apex of the female gametophyte changes into a flask-shaped structure called tent pole. The tent pole disappears in the later stages. Generally, up to 10 archegonia develop in the female gametophyte, as I told you earlier, but sometimes as many as 25 archegonia may appear. Here you can see enlarged structure of the ovule, and you can see here micropylar end and a single integument differentiated into outer fleshy layer, middle stony layer and inner fleshy layer. Students, as ovule is orthotropous and you can notice a tent pole over the female gametophyte or the archegonium, and at the base you can notice that bracts are there and aril is differentiated from the integuments. Next is seed. Students, Taxus seeds are covered by a three-layered seed coat. As I explained to you earlier, the outermost layer is thin brown and detaches zone. Here you can see thin brown outer covering which detaches zone. Middle layer is hard and stony while the innermost layer is fleshy. The mature seeds are covered by a red colored aril, as you can see in this image. The aril serves to attack birds and help in dissemination. Next is economic importance. Students, Taxus is widely cultivated as an ornamental plant. The timber of Taxus peccata and some other species is oily and heaviest of the softwoods. It is quite durable and used for making houses, decorative items, ternary flowers and pots. Several other types of decorative pieces are also made from its wood. Plant is considered sacred and its wood is used to make deities and temple, while leaves are worshipped. Due to the presence of a toxic alkaloid, taxine in the leaves, shoots and seeds, the entire plant of Taxus peccata is considered poisonous and also used in some countries as a fish poison. Its leaves also contain traces of the ephedrine and therefore used in bronchitis, asthma and epilepsy. Seed of Taxus peccata are used as a sedative. means they relax the brain. Taxol is a drug obtained from the bark of Taxus tree. It is used for the treatment of breast, ovarian, lung, bladder, prostate, melanoma, as well as other types of the solid tumor cancers. The foliose is used as a litter and fed to the cattle in Pakistan. Source of income. Students, leaves of the Taxus are collected and sold as a substitute for Tulsi Patta of the Ayurveda, used in the treatment of asthma and bronchitis. Leaves are also the source of Taxol, a potent anti-cancerous drug. So, the leaves are source of income for the local people. Next is edible uses. Pulpy aril of seed is edible when it is ripened, and it is eaten raw or cooked and considered sweet, gelatinous as well as delicious. These are supplement in desserts, and deseeded ripened aril is made into jam. Bark is used in making of medicinal tea considered good to cure cough, bronchitis and asthma. It is taken by the people residing in the hills when normal tea is not available. Students, in first image you can see ripened aril, which are quite similar to the fruits of the angiosperm. In second image you can see bark is collected to make tea. So students, that's all about the genus Taxus. I hope you understood this lecture. Thank you for listening.